In today's episode, we're going to be diving in. I'm going to flip the script and ask Ange some awesome questions about herself. Luckily, she's willing to get vulnerable with us so that we can get to know her just a little bit better outside of the podcast realm. Let's dive in.
Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Angela.
And I'm Claire, your companions on the journey to a successful and vibrant life.
We are here to debunk those media health myths and break through mental blocks that we all face.
Let's fuel your life with nourishing conversations to a healthier you. All right, we are live. Ange, how's it going? What's a fun fact that you would like to share about your life right now?
Right now. Well, I'm wearing this sweater tank that I got off of Shein. I've never purchased anything off of that website. But
I love
have
it.
you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think majority of my closet is sponsored by Shein.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not bad. I just am nervous to shop clothing online, but yeah, I'm pretty impressed with these $4 prices. So I loaded up on some, tanks, meaning 4 items. And it's the first time I've worn this, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty good. So I may hop on there again, but I had no idea they had household items.
Yeah, weird, right? They have everything on there.
I was like, you need a gadget? Go here. I was like, I mean, all I see on my Instagram feed and the sponsored, because they just show up, was clothes. It's not. So then I'm on the site and I'm like, wait, what? You have things to put around your house? You have the dryer lint collector that you brush, that you scoop down to make sure you get your lint out. I'm like, this thing is.
Oh, I need to get one of those.
Yeah, it was 99 cents.
Yeah. I just ordered $160 worth of stuff from there, and I got 20 items.
Yeah, see? I'm like, okay. Now I trusted the process on some basic items, because I was like, well, these are safe.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm open to explore something a little outside my box. And when they're $4 or $7, it feels manageable. If I didn't like it. If I was like, I'll give it to Claire.
There you go. Well, and it's super easy to return stuff with them too. You just drop it off at UPS.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that part I hadn't dug into, because I played everything super safe. So my odds were in my favor to not return anything.
I like it. Well, that is a fun fact.
Shopping, here we come. What's up, Claire? What about you?
Well, I am super motivated right now with my health goals, because I started, one of my girlfriends, we decided to do a walk and talk meeting every Tuesday. Shout out to Ryland if you're listening. She's actually going to be a guest on our podcast soon. But it has been so good, because every week on Tuesdays, we discuss what are your wins from the last week and what are your action steps moving forward, which is the framework that I actually use with my patients. And so it's been really good to utilize it myself, because it is keeping me accountable. Oh shoot, I have to, report next Tuesday. And we actually have daily things that we're reporting to each other just to stay on top of it during the week. And we're tracking sleep and steps and competing a little bit with the steps and who can get the best quality sleep and stuff like that. And so I think having an accountability partner is key. And especially going into summer, I always love just going all in the spring, so that I'm feeling really confident in the summer with everything that I'm doing, and just being comfy in a bikini and confident, because you have to live in your bikini here in the summers when it's 120 out.
Yes. Amen.
So, yeah.
I'm just wanting to get rid of my tan line from my, shorts, because the workout shorts, I was going for walks quite a bit a few weeks back, and I'm like, I miss that. But I noticed I'm getting a tan line in a high waist space on my stomach, and I'm like, no. So, and I had went to the spring training game. So sitting out there in the sun, I have like short lines, even though I kind of hiked them up a little. So it looks like I have white granny panties on because of the contrast between my tan and my skin that's not been tanned. So time to lay out.
Time to lay out. There you go. Or
Vitamin
get
E.
shorter shorts. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. All right. What's in store, Claire? This is your lead episode.
Yes, I'm super excited. You inspired me last time by surprising me last minute that I was going to get interviewed. So I kind of want to flip the script and throw it back at you and get to know you a little bit better and have our listeners get a good idea on some fun questions. So yeah, let's kick it off. So number one, I thought this was a kind of fun question. So if you could strip all of your habits, what are the top 3 that you think are essential in your life to have?
Whoa.
If you could only have 3.
Yeah. Sleep. That is 100%.
How many hours?
Perfect world, a solid 8. I'm near that, which is exciting.
Nice.
Except for last night when we had a late volleyball game started at 9:30. So did win all 3, so it was worth it. But
what's new? Yeah. What's new? Look at you. That's awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
Number 2 would be my quiet time in the morning. And that consists of just like me by myself downstairs, eating a little food and then doing my workout. Like, that is fueling me back. And I just show up better in my day. And another habit I can't live without. There's so many that I don't want to give up, but I would probably say my hydration, like just being hydrated. So sleep, hydration, and then my give back to myself. Like I just take about 45 minutes in the morning. That's truly for myself, which is not a lot in the day when you give so much to others all day long. So yeah.
That's amazing. I love it. Okay. So next one, what does your ideal nourished day look like from start to finish? Like ideal world, you get to do every single thing that makes you feel the most nourished. Going along with our theme.
All right. Well, the wake up, those, that 45-minute power-packed morning to feel back to myself. Having some time with my kid, just the one-on-one. We're not rushed. He's not heading out the door. And then getting outside, just being outside, whether that's a walk, a bike ride, just a hike. Outside. Even if I already did my little workout in the morning, I'd still want to be outside at some capacity. Obviously spending time with James, that's quality for me. I just so desire quality time because it does truly nourish me, and that's even in friendships. So having, an intentional time with any other human that's important to my life it's nourishing, gives joy back to me, makes, there's elements of laughter, being silly, and being present with them. It's very intentional and it's fulfilling. And I think, honestly, just the quiet, I think that's nourishing, and I'm learning to absorb that thought process, which is just less social media, not having to have my AirPods in, and just taking time to be okay with the quiet. And that seeing how valuable that is and nourishing, and we constantly are nourishing our brains with stimulation in it, and it isn't always positive. So doing things around the house or connecting with people, that is the ultimate nourishment for me. I'm very social. So
I love it.
Claire, I know you as I asked you questions last time, I feel like you should answer some of these.
Okay, I'll answer some of them. I don't know if we'll have time for me to answer all of them, but
Okay.
maybe we can circle back if we don't go through them. But I would say my nourished day looks like getting up and going to the gym. I like to just get it done right away. So doing my zone 2 training for 30 minutes, and then which is generally just incline on the treadmill. Maybe actually ideal day would be I go to Piestewa Peak and I hike Piestewa, then get done, then I go to the gym, get my lift in, finish with sauna, cold plunge. I always meditate in the sauna, so that's always really nice. And I do my gratitude. I do visualization of what I want my future to look like, visualize money coming into my bank account.
Yes.
So that's always good and nourishing. And then after that, just get right to it. Like planning, okay, what is something that I could do today that's going to benefit my future? Like what is something, like I just like to make progress every day on what my future is going to look like. So that really lights me up when it's something that is for me and it's something that's getting me closer to my goals. So doing that, of course, and then maybe an afternoon paddle boarding or just being in nature somewhere, like swimming in the lake and then laying out for a little bit with some great friends and just having really deep conversations. That always lights me up. And then after that, having an amazing healthy meal. Very nourishing, high protein, maybe some sweet potatoes in there with some veggies. And and then I don't know, just having like a glass of wine with some friends at the end of the day. Like, of course, 3 hours with it before bed so that I have time. But that always, like, for me, like, that's my social battery and something that makes me feel nourished. So that's my ideal day.
I love it. It's so calm.
Kind of, yeah. Okay. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It would be a burger and chips.
Ooh, what kind?
I mean, they're the Kirkland sea salt chips. They're just the plain salt chips. I literally grill my burgers all the time. And I like my hamburgers grilled. I'm not like, oh, I want to eat at this restaurant. But I use my sourdough bread as the toast. I toast it a little as the bun. So, and I've been adding brie cheese on top, and it's just creamy, and the burger feels expensive. I feel like it would be $20 on a menu somewhere.
Wow.
And I use like good ground beef, and that's kind of been my jam lately. So that's maybe in a year I'll have something totally different I would choose, but that would be my meal because I like the crunch and the salty of the chips as well. I love French fries, but lately it's just been the kick of that. And if I have to eat something every day, that means that I have to probably prepare it.
True. So you're thinking logistically. I like it.
Yeah. If I have a cook, I mean, that just is way different.
A chef. Okay. If you could have a chef, what would it be? The most gourmet meal.
Yeah. Well, it would be like oysters and
there we go.
Roasted Brussels sprouts, basically Buckenwriter's menu.
Okay.
Flown in fresh seafood, fresh seasonal vegetables. Yeah. High-end
status.
I like it.
I like
But for now, we'll take the burger.
Yeah, until you get a private chef.
Absolutely.
It's coming.
Yep.
Okay, so what part of your wellness journey has been the hardest part or the most humbling?
Oh, um, so it's kind of more current, and wellness is to me emotional too. So it's not just the physical or what we're eating. It's been the emotional space that I have been kind of stripped to some raw spaces of like why I show up the way I do in my relationship. All transparency, like I would say the last part of those about a year, almost coming up on a year, and we're on the other side of 10 months. Let's just say 10 months. It has been not the easiest with James and I. Not that, you know, it's just stuff that I'm working through, stuff that I have had fear in. Fear turns into control, and not controlling in an element of, you need to put this here, or why aren't you doing this? It's like more of the emotional control of like fear of, are we going to break up, or what's our future like? And that's been something that has, there's two parts to the story. So, but I'm only going to speak on my own. Just letting go. I tend to have an anxious attachment style. So with that comes some of those characteristics of like needing extra reassurance. And when I'm not getting that, then I'm pointing that out. And then that just kind of is deflating for him. And trying to see it through his lens. And so I had somatic therapy last week. So I went and visited someone. It works on emotional components in a massage space. So it starts like I had a lot of tension in my shoulders. There was a release going on in there to where I don't have pain anymore, which is crazy. So that's like a whole other podcast. But
Wow.
So that's been humbling because I've had to kind of dig in some childhood stuff. Why do I show up the way I show up in my relationship, and seeing those raw parts of like, wow, I've created some of this, not intentionally, but like I've added to it, and in ways have pushed him away. And yet that's the opposite of what I want. So yeah, it's kind of a raw answer to a question that, is, I think a lot of us can say we have been there, or we're there. And, we all want better. And sometimes getting there is messy. And, I still loving myself through those messy moments. And even if in not looking at him to love me in those, but just like loving myself, because I do know logically that he loves me, but it's just saying like, it's okay to be messy, and it's okay to show up and have to like apologize, reboot, and pivot. Like, the habits are deep sometimes in how we respond. So there you go.
Wow. Good for you for going through the work to really figure out why you're doing certain things, or why, just having those realizations of, understanding yourself enough to know that that's why I'm reacting like that, or that's why I'm feeling like that in these certain situations. Because so many people go through their lives without really understanding that, and then you can't improve something if you don't realize what you're doing. So good for you. All about the self-development. I love it. Okay, so how do you handle moments wherein you fall off of your routine or feel unmotivated? How do you kick back in gear?
Usually I tend to feel like sluggish. I think it's how I start to feel, which is the thing that pivots me to get back on track. So whether I'm on the go and kind of just, I'm eating semi-clean, but I'm still grabbing things that are already pre-made that are more processed. I just feel it. I feel that difference physically, and that's enough for me to be like, okay, because I don't want to feel like that. I don't want to feel like I'm sluggish in a workout because I just kind of whipped something up that didn't have a good balance. I love to be active, so that's easy for me to keep on the bandwagon. Is probably just the food and prepping and making sure that I'm taking care of myself instead of just grabbing things that are already made for me, that are clean but still processed.
Yeah. So you kind of just acknowledge how you're feeling and then adjust based on that.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say for me, when I fall off my routine and I'm feeling unmotivated, I literally just sit in silence and I take the time to just say, okay, because if I'm feeling off, I know that there's something deeper that I'm not acknowledging. And it happens a lot if I'm like, go, 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 busy, busy, busy. I'm prioritizing maybe social engagements more than like my routine or traveling or whatever it is. And so whenever I get back, I kind of make a mindset shift where it's like, okay, I'm going to figure out what it is. What are the things that I'm like, what are the things that I need to prioritize? Like kind of break it down to what are the top things that are non-negotiables for me moving forward? Because that always helps if I have a clear plan for, okay, these are the things that are fallen off. These are the top 2 or 3 things that are the most important to implement back in, and then go from there. Because once you get that momentum with that, just a couple things, because you don't want to give yourself, I've done this, where it's like, okay, well, I'm going to not eat after 6. I'm going to, I'm going to not hit snooze in the morning. I'm going to drink this much water. I'm going to eat this much protein and like get these really, really specific goals. And then I'm focused on so much that it's not sustainable. So I would say I've learned over time. Yes. Yeah. And I actually want to do an episode on like, why are you sick and tired of trying to be healthy? Because it can be tiring when you're doing so many things at once, and it's overwhelming to like how many different things that there are that you could be focusing on. Like, how do you break that down? And
so it's powerful. I think we all get into a list mode versus just lifestyle mode.
Exactly. So I thought this was kind of a fun question. So what message do you hope every listener walks away with after tuning into our podcast? Like what are some main things that you hope for this podcast to deliver to our listeners?
Oh, that's really good. I think for me it's if someone feels heard and we are relating to them, it makes it possible. I think there's a lot of things that are out there that are sometimes hard to relate to because it doesn't come easy for us. And I think our biggest goal, at least, speaking for myself and conversations you and I've had, is we want people to feel like it's possible. And to see that, we still struggle with showing up perfectly with those lists, but that we're all in it together. We're a team. We're here to like have you meet us where we're at, us meet you where you're at, and that it can be fun. This lifestyle and approach in life can be fun and bringing awareness. And whether you shelf it today or utilize it right now, it's there for you. I think so many times we come across stuff in life and it doesn't necessarily in the season we're currently at, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be there for us later, and that we can have this space for the later, not just the now.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say very similar. Obviously, like we started this podcast together with a lot of the similar views on what we wanted to look like. Like we met at the beginning, like what's our intention with this? What do we what do we want listeners to take away? And I would say the same things. We want to make it relatable. We want it to be one thing that I always want it to be is actionable. I want there to be certain things that you can implement and not have it be overwhelming, and kind of sift through some of the things like with social media and all of the myths and things like that. Like it's really hard to sift through. It can be so overwhelming. So I'm hoping to be just a safe space where you guys feel comfortable reaching out to us for different questions, different things that you're curious about, different topics that you want to hear about, because ideally we just want to be an asset in your life. We want to improve it, help you hit your goals in a way that is sustainable. So
Yes.
yeah.
Love it.
Okay, so final question. What is one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self or any woman who's listening and just getting started on her wellness journey?
It's a journey, and it's not going to be overnight. And that's okay. You know, find what you love and are passionate about and do that. And then I'm referencing to the activity. So if you are not a gym person, that's okay. You don't have to be a gym person to have a healthy life. If you like playing pickleball, if you like to golf, if you just like to go on walks, that's enough. And never compare yourself to somebody else, because we will do that and be challenged with that throughout life in all different facets, whether it's your career, friendships, social, status, finances, what you drive. It could be like choice of music. And if you can't own and love those things about you that make you happy, it just makes it challenging because you can't be you. Like if you want to listen to, country music nonstop and that's what you like do it. Maybe other people don't love it, but that's okay. I mean, I'm speaking that because I remember someone making fun of me for liking whatever music it was at the time. And I thought, well, there's music for everybody. Like, why would you make fun of that? I'm like, middle school, upper elementary maybe. But those are those small examples of like, it shouldn't matter. Like, if it makes you happy, do it.
I love that.
So yeah, just being proud of what you like, being proud of who you are, despite what's around you, because there's many people who like what you like.
I love that.
Yeah. What about you, Claire?
I would say number one is learn how to say no. Learn how to be an advocate for yourself. And like that was a huge game changer for me personally, is I don't know, becoming the yes woman and saying yes all the time to everything, and maybe sacrificing some of the things that I didn't want to do and I did anyways. And that time could have been spent doing something like working out or hiking or doing something that I love that I was sacrificing for someone else. And I would just tell my younger self, like, it's okay. You can say no. It's you can say yes to this workout and no to your friend. And if they don't like that, then they're not your real friends. And I would say along those lines is not everyone needs to be your friend, and choose your friends wisely. Like you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with, and it's really true. So just remember that with every single person in your life. Are they someone that are helping your life get better? Are they like adding to your life? Are they bringing something, like, are they inspiring you? Are they motivating you to be your best self? If they're not, cut them off. I would say that's
No,
the biggest thing that would have helped my wellness journey. Even like my wellness journey was it wasn't linear. Of course, none of it is. It's like,
mm-mm.
I mean, looking over time, you see it's like one step up, one step back. It's like a hill that's crazy, but over time it goes up. And so just understanding that, realizing it. But I think that I definitely could have gone up a little bit more if I had those values in place. So
Yeah, no, it's so good. I mean, it just comes back to I think between what your statement was and mine, it is kind of putting ourselves first. And seeing the beauty in who we are and how we're made, because our value is we're valuable, so we're valuable enough to say no, and we're valuable enough to, do and choose the things in life that make us happy. And it's a journey. I even had that conversation with Logan last night or the other night in the car, because he's discovering what job he wants to potentially pick in the military. And it was just that reminder of, dude, pick something, like, because he said, well, I just thought I had to commit to something. So he just like picked something. But, he's learning, right? At 17, he's learning. But life, yes, you're in this space in the military for 4 years as of the first commitment, and it may evolve and change and add on. But, you have to like what you do every day. You have to not just pick something because it sounds right or it sounds good. Pick something because it makes sense to you and you are passionate about it. And I just said there'll be a lot of things in life that you end up choosing because you're afraid of what someone else might think or I may think, but you're the one who shows up every day in it, not me, no one else. So pick what makes you happy for that season, and you can keep changing your interests. Like, it's okay to change your mind. You don't have to. It's good to keep your word, but you don't have to keep your word so much in a space that doesn't bring truth to you.
Absolutely.
At some point it's hop off the train because you're like, it doesn't serve me anymore. And that's okay.
Yeah, and it goes for any age too, not just the 17-year-olds. It's like, okay, anything in life, you have the choice, right? So
yeah.
I love it. This
Well,
was
Claire,
awesome.
those were some thinkers, and but it's good. It's good to have the questions outside of like, what's your favorite color?
Yeah, well, I appreciate your willingness to be vulnerable with us, because I think that's just another way of feeling closer to you, and hopefully our listeners can feel that too.
Yeah, likewise, Claire. So many facets to who we are besides the podcast. It runs deeper. So
absolutely.
Oh,
all right.
Until our next episode, we have a few guests in the pipeline. So make sure you stay tuned for these inspiring people.
Absolutely. All right. See you all next Monday.